This is how daily tracking changed my life. So first of all, when you track things, it reveals all your flaws clearly and there's nowhere to run. So the only thing you can do is improve to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes every day. So one thing I like to do a lot, and I always recommend this, at the end of every day, write down 3 things you did good and 3 things you did bad. And generally speaking, as the days go on, you're going to see you make the same mistakes every day. Every single day, you have a chance to improve. You have a chance to not make those mistakes. You have a chance to do more good things because the reflection allows you to see what you did right and see what you did wrong. And the thing is, in today's day and age, no one reflects. No one takes time out of their day to look back at what happened in the past and analyze it, see how they could have been better, see how they could have improved. Like if there's a certain situation that happened during the day and it really upset you, analyze it, see how you could have handled it better. There's infinite things to analyze. And if you analyze enough and you really, see all your flaws and you write them out clearly, now you have a chance to improve them. And I also recommend that everyone who's watching this, get yourself a piece of paper and write down everything that you're bad at. Write down all your weaknesses, all of your flaws. And once you write down all these different things, now you can improve them. Let's say you're very impatient. Let's say you don't reflect enough. Let's say you're inconsistent with the gym. Let's say you speak negatively to yourself. Whatever these weaknesses or negative things are, write them down because now you can get it out in front of you visually and now you can work on improving them. That's something super important. And once I did this, it revealed all the things I could improve. Then I got in better shape. Then I got smarter. Then I held myself better. Then I got better posture. Then I got better this, better that, better this. And once you do this, you're going to feel way better. And that's always going to help you become the better version of yourself. Another reason why daily tracking and reflection changed my life is because I could see progress every single day. Even if I couldn't see it physically on my body, I knew I was making progress, which is a very, very motivating thing. If you're going to the gym for a long time, let's say 3-4 months, and you haven't seen much visual progress, you are probably making progress. You've been consistent for 4 months. First of all, that's something to be proud of. Second of all, you have made progress. You just haven't seen it properly. You aren't judging your progress properly. Because with fitness, you don't just track how you look. You track your knowledge, you track your consistency, you track your habits, your lifestyle changes, you track everything, your energy levels. So by tracking every day, I was able to visually see all my progress written down over all the days. And now I was confident that what I was doing is actually working. And it allowed me to stay consistent with fitness, especially on those times where it was hard, especially those times where I doubted myself, especially those times where I thought, is this even worth it? All because I had that tracking in place. I knew that there was proof that I am on the right track. And now, of course, I'm in the best shape of my life. And I'm super glad that I never quit. And I tracked all the progress and I stayed consistent. And I really recommend you do the same as well. One thing which is interesting about tracking is that it made me focus more on the input. I wasn't really focused on the result anymore. I didn't care about the result I wanted. I only wanted to show up 5 days a week. I only wanted to eat this many calories. I only wanted to be consistent or reach a certain level of strength. I wasn't really focused on the result anymore. Because if you're focused so much on the input, it's unreasonable to not get the result anyway. But if you only focus on the result, you'll just get discouraged and that could affect your input. So focusing on the input, focusing on going to the gym consistently, focusing on eating healthy food, focusing on tracking, focusing on all the daily actions has been the best thing possible. And that's why that daily reflection is extremely important. And if you're watching this video and you still haven't considered daily reflection, I don't know what's going on. You need to start doing this. And the thing is, it doesn't need to be some crazy tracking which takes an hour every day. It could even be as simple as a 2-minute voice message to yourself where you analyze what you did right and what you did wrong. 2 minutes a day. Everyone has 2 minutes a day. Or if you want to take it a step further, you can get a journal and write 5 to 10 minutes every single day. But honestly, any sort of tracking, I really recommend, especially if it's a realistic way of tracking that you can stick to long term. I definitely recommend it. So different ways of tracking could be a notebook, it could be a voice message to yourself, it could be the notes app to yourself, it could be having a specific journal, it could be honestly just thinking to yourself every single day. What did I do right today? What could I have improved? What's one thing I learned? But of course, writing it is good. Writing it always helps. Tracking also allowed me to build consistency, it allowed me to build habits, and allowed me to build routine. Because one of the mistakes I was making before is I didn't have a routine. And because that was one of my weaknesses and because I was tracking it every day, very quickly I developed a routine for myself and that instantly helped me build up that habit. By tracking and being aware of what I'm doing every single day, it allowed me to make those positive changes very, very quickly. Because if I wasn't tracking, I'd probably just forget about it or worry about something else and I'd be all over the place. You want to have control over your life. You want to know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong all the time. That's how you really become the best possible version of yourself. It really does come from reflection and tracking, which means it's not about the time you put into it, but instead the reflection and the feedback that you're giving yourself. That's what allows us to really level up and improve so much more than just doing it for a long time. Another thing with daily tracking is that it gave myself time to reflect every day. We live in such a world where everything is fast paced, everything is moving so quick. One day we're doing this, next day something completely different. And not many people give themselves time to themselves, time to live in your own brain for a little bit, time to analyze and reflect on your own life. And you need to give yourself quality time every day. Have you ever noticed that after a big work day, you just get home, you're super exhausted, and you stay up a little bit later than usual just because you want time to yourself? And you might spend 2 hours, 3 hours just watching videos on your phone, and that's your time to yourself. But the thing is with time to yourself, and this is a point I haven't spoken about or heard people speak about, you don't need as much time to yourself if the quality is good. So for example, 3 hours of scrolling on social media is equal to like 1 hour of self-reflection, or 30 minutes of self-reflection with a notebook. Because I feel like that time to yourself is much higher quality compared to scrolling on your phone. Everyone needs time to themselves, but tracking every day is that time for yourself. That is your time to reflect, and it is very therapeutic. So I really recommend give yourself that time every single day and just reflect. Spend time with yourself and see what you could be improving on and become the best version of yourself. And I'm going to finish up by making this last point. When you do daily reflection, you're going to find out all the mistakes you made, and you shouldn't be discouraged by this, but instead you want to use it as an objective for the next day. So every day you have a chance to fix your mistakes. Every day you have a chance to improve. Every day you have a chance to try to be better than you were the day before. And I can link this to comparison. You should never compare yourself to someone who's in a completely different position to you. Someone who's 1,000 steps ahead of you, who's been doing something for 10 more years than you. It's just an unfair comparison. But what is a fair comparison is you being aware of what you're doing today and you being aware of what you're doing tomorrow. And if you can really compare those two things and always make sure you're improving, you'll be way happier and you'll see that you're a way better version of yourself very, very quickly. So the main lesson of this video is to start tracking in whatever form you can, because it really makes a huge difference to your life. And I guarantee if you're always aware of what you're doing every day, you're going to find ways to improve and live a happier and better life. And if you found this information helpful, this is only one of the 40 topics I have in my free fitness training, and you can get it by just clicking the first link in the description. It's completely free. There's 40 fitness topics on there, which will honestly change the way your physique is and the way your mind works, and will allow you to be the best version of yourself and get in crazy good shape. So check it out, first link in the description, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on these type of videos. I'll be posting so many more of them, so don't miss out.